Phenomenal film. Kudos and can't wait for everyone to see it. I wanted to know what was kind of your thought process from like the intentionality of like the family dynamic and being able to really see kind of like that Black fatherhood role model perspective for the film.
Absolutely, it was intentional. Representation is very important for us, how we're seen on screen. Being able to see this story, which is kind of a father-son story. Right. It's a story of brotherhood, being on screen and telling a story that's not about trauma, which some of those stories are necessary and some of them are my favorite films.
Yeah.
But when I read the script, it was the opportunity to tell the story and see Black boys on the screen this way, to know that there's a father there, to know that there's a mother there, to know that they work things out amongst themselves that really speak to the heart, and in an experience that many of us had. So I'm glad you picked up on that. And I'm glad that Universal and Spring Hill, worked so hard. This movie's been 13 years in development. I've been involved in it for about 3.5, that we were able to tell this story in this way, which doesn't often happen.
Awesome. And then also see like Black boy joy, right? When they were on the court being with each other, like it just really, really did show that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we coined that when I did New Edition, or no, I didn't coin it, but the world,
Yeah.
the social media world coined Black boy joy. And I was always happy that movie kind of resonated with people in that way. And if you saying it, I believe it. From your mouth to God's ears, brother, I dig it.
Awesome. Awesome. So I want to know, what was kind of like the most challenging part about directing this film?
The most, look, making a film is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to make a mediocre film,
Yeah.
right? It's just so many moving pieces. You're working with 200 people a day on set, and it's challenging. But I think for this one, it was actually, the amount of authenticity that I wanted to bring to it, representing people who are alive and well and kicking and thriving, who are going to watch this movie, who lived through the experience. It was really studying, going beyond the X's and O's, as they say. It's not a basketball movie per se, but simultaneously we've got to shoot the best basketball shot. So I think it was that combination of trying to make a story that touched people emotionally and being authentic because it's a true story, and then creating the action that made it elevated.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed every minute of it.
Awesome. So I read somewhere they said you haven't met LeBron James ever yet. Is this still, have you met him yet?
No, not well. Look, I did. I'm lying. I met him at the McDonald's All-American game.
Okay.
His son was playing. Also Mookie, who's the lead of the movie, who plays LeBron, was in it. So I went to Houston to support.
Right.
And I saw LeBron as I was walking by, and I said, "Hey," and he said, "Hey." That was it. So hopefully tomorrow I get to meet him. But I think it was actually in the beginning, I really wanted to meet him, hear the story from his perspective. But I think it was a gift, actually. And I think LeBron's smart enough to know, hey, let the filmmaker be the filmmaker. Yeah. But he absolutely participated, every location, every actor, he greenlit. Any changes in the script, he greenlit. And I think what happened to me as a filmmaker, I had to talk to the people around him, talk to the people who were there. And it really did work with my perspective of how I shot the movie. Right. And whose perspective. And so I knew everyone else's perspective of how this worked, how each other person felt being on the team with LeBron, being from the same community. And I think that made for a better movie.
Awesome. Awesome. So what did you learn about LeBron that you didn't know about him now that you know after creating this film, or directing, excuse me?
I think I learned that he didn't skip any steps, right? we see a fully formed LeBron James winning championships, being a billionaire and a mogul, but it started at the Salvation Army, right?
Mm.
It started with his coach kind of telling him, look, your success is connected to how well you deal with pressure. His relationship with his mom, the projects he grew up in, the Midwest mentality of hard work. Like all these things were going on while he was 13, 14, 15. Like, and it's a true story. Like, so I always thought he's like this phenomenal player, but I learned that him and his community are a group of phenomenal human beings and family. And that foundation that was created really matters to where he is today.
And that's like the part that I love the most about the film is that you see this superstar, but also realizing and understanding like he wouldn't be where he is if it wasn't for that community, if it wasn't for the teammates, if it wasn't for friends. So that part I love so much.
No, man, thank you. I'm glad you picked up on that part. That was the whole kind of motivation to be able to tell that kind of a story.
Yeah. And my last question for you is I want to know why was this story important for you? Like why did you want to get involved? Why was this like, oh, I definitely want to be a part of this?
Well, when you make a film, it takes up a lot of time in your life. I've been on this one for 3.5 years. And, the longer you're in your career, it's you're more selective to the things you want to do. And when I read this script, it just resonated with me. Resonated about my personal experiences, my family experiences, and I'm a big sports fan, and really understanding the psychology of what makes greatness.
Yeah.
And when you put it all together, I think what takes greatness is not skipping steps, the hard work, the repairing relationships, the relationships. Like in life, you can't skip steps. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'll give 3 years of my life to tell this story. Like this is important because I think one of the most valuable things that you can do is give someone inspiration. And I hope that this movie can be out there for the world to see, to provide that.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, congratulations again. Again, it was phenomenal. Can't wait for everyone to see. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Of course.